I am not a teacher, but I am a teacher in many ways. I do continuing medical education. And so I work in healthcare. My background is in occupational therapy, and I have a master's as well. And I really, much of the work I do is around building the skills of coaching, collaboration, and team effectiveness into healthcare teams. I was introduced to the habits of mind as the third leg of the stool with coaching and adaptive schools, cognitive coaching and adaptive schools, and I had a high curiosity about it. I did the course, and what's been really interesting to me, I think, is the language that this work gives to thinking patterns and mindsets. These are all specific mindsets that people can use to be adaptive. I actually used it with a client of mine who had a request and said, "Can you make an interview guide? We're hiring a new CEO for our hospital. Can you create an interview guide?" And I'm like, oh, geez. Okay. So, first question, what's important to you in a leader? And it was really about those adaptive skill sets. And I'm like, well, if that's what they want somebody who thinks in adaptive ways, and they want to surface that kind of thinking pattern. So I use the habits of mind as the foundational way in which they would score their interviews. Overlaid on top of, let's use DILTs. Let's learn from education. Let's use DILTs and habits of mind and coaching and put together the most beautiful way to find a new CEO for an organization that is on the precipice of huge change. So starting with the environment, tell us what kind of places you've worked in. What did you learn from those? What did it look like? What was your impact? Then we went into what are some skills that you've developed over your time? And then we went into what values guide you? And then who are you as a person? And the assessment tool on the side was, were they thinking flexibly? Were they able to question and pose problems? Were they striving for accuracy? Did they show the ability to have metacognition? Did they listen with understanding and empathy? So by actually assessing the habits of mind, you were able to assess what kind of thinker is this person? And if they demonstrated these ways and were able to articulate the ways in which they were adaptive and were able to find ways to be successful in the face of new situations, you know you had the right leader.